Here to my right is a G.O.A.T receiver bumper. G.O.A.T stands for Goes Over All Terrain. These bumpers are really strong and are designed to protect the front end of your van. But maybe you're looking for a winch bumper, just like this one. This is our G.O.A.T winch bumper, equipped with a Warn 12,000-pound winch. But now, let's just focus on the receiver bumper. In this video, we'll show you how they are installed. You will see it's very easy if you're two people, or it can even be done if you're by yourself. We've designed this bumper to protect the key areas of the front end of your Sprinter van. This bar and the bumper will be protecting your radiators, the engine, and also all the way down to your oil pan. My name is Simon. I'm the founder and owner of Backland Expedition Gear, and I'm very excited for you to get started. So now I'll show you how to do the cutout for the receiver bumper. We prefer to do the cutout on the van as you're less likely to scratch your bumper cover. Hey, I'm interrupting this video just because we have some updates for you. We've been installing these bumpers for a couple of years now. Now we are at the end of 2024 and we have learned a few things along the way. We're also installing this bumper now on the all-wheel drive platform. Some slight differences that you will notice in the video, and it's only because we want your installation to be easy. All right, let's get back to it. If your van is equipped with parking sensors, you're gonna wanna disconnect them from behind the bumper cover, and that's an important step because you don't wanna cut those wires. Your parking sensors and parking sensor wires are out of the way. Make sure you don't lose your little silicone connector. So this is what you have to cut and remove from the bumper cover to install your cradle. You see here that this is the step that comes with your bumper cover. So we're gonna take it off, and this step used to be just here, and all we did is cut from this corner all the way down, matching the step, and this cut is already done from in your bumper cover. So that way we are able to keep this grill. Also, this we can keep your radar protected. And at the bottom here, you see this bracket that is welded on top of the receiver, and we are just reinserting your radar in place, putting a couple of zip ties so that we're not affecting any of the radar or cruise control adaptive system. To show a couple of things that we have updated from our first video, we are cutting all the way to the back of the bumpers here. So we have, this is open. The reason why we did this is because we noticed that it's really easy to access these bolt holes from the side as you're inserting just an extension, and then be able to reach with your nut on the inside. It saves you a little bit of time, and by leaving this section here is a little bit too stiff, and that's easier with that section removed, and it still keeps the bumper just as strong as it used to be. For you installers, I suggest you keep this with you. It'll make the perfect template, very easy to slide on top of your next installation, and then trace and cut your bumper. The winch cradle cutout is much smaller than the shell, so don't be nervous about this part of the install. Here in green, you can see the size of the shell. On the face of the bumper cover, measure from the center line to the right and to the left. From this body line, measure down 1.5 inches. From the same body line, measure down 10.5 inches, and that's going to end up on this lower body line. For this install, we kept roughly 6 inches of the bottom section to connect the two sides. You can choose to cut the middle open. If that's the case, on the bottom, make a mark from the center 18 inches to the right and to the left. Then, connect your vertical lines to the lower marks. A few years ago, I was crossing a river and the current took out half of my bumper cover. I don't want this to happen. That's the reason why we created the G.O.A.T bumper designed for river crossing. To do the cutout, you can use a grinder with a thin zip disc, or I prefer to use this air-powered sawzall. So you can choose to keep this middle part, keep this hole, the rivet hole that you have here, because we're going to need it in the future. 13mm socket, we're going to undo these bolts here and remove the metal bumper. we need to make a line flush with the bottom of the opening here, and this is where we're going to cut. Put a piece of scrap here to protect those hoses. Using an 18mm gear wrench, I can access this bolt that's on the frame here, and we're going to take it off. And same thing on the other side. If you guys are familiar with my videos, you might have noticed I like to use this stuff here, some sort of wax, grease mixed together. It's very similar to what Mercedes is using all over the bottom of the van. And I'm going to go ahead and spray that right here just to prevent corrosion. In your kit, you have this nut that's welded to a wrench. You're going to slide it into the opening and line it up with the bolt at the bottom. Tighten that up, 17mm, and tighten that bolt up. Same thing on the other side. Leave these bolts just snug, because it's the bolt that we're adding to the bottom that's going to set the height of the cradle. I'm reusing the bolt that we took out. Securely tie the cradle to the frame past the crumple zone. So I'm going to leave these bolts just snug, because it's the bolt that we're adding to the bottom that's going to set the height of the cradle. Eyeball the location of the hole that's the bottom of the cradle. Use a hole saw and drill a hole so we can access it. With a 3/8 drill bit and drill a hole into the frame. If I'm lifting the section of the bumper cover, you will see from behind here, this is the bottom of the radar and also your camera holder. We're gonna slide this into this slot, just like that. And then I have a couple zip ties that we're gonna feed through the center hole. This is the update that we did to our cradle to accommodate for this new radiator on the all-wheel drive van. The fit is perfect. Some of the differences between the winch shell and the receiver shell is, first, the receiver has these blades welded on, so I think it looks cleaner overall. Other than we have a hole for the receiver. We also have these two studs that are welded into the shell, so we need to take these two nuts and washers out, and then we're ready to put the shell right onto the cradle. Now that the shell is on, we're gonna use a washer and an M10 nut to secure the bumper cover. We left the bottom of the grill on the bumper cover. It looks nice and clean, and you're still able to use your pin and put it in the receiver in there, and you have a really good access. Parking sensor holder, clip it in, center your parking sensor, press it in real hard, and voila. Just to be sure everything lines up perfectly, I'm gonna go ahead and drill a hole into this, just like that. The good part is that we're almost done. Remember at the beginning I said one time I was crossing a river and half of my bumper cover got ripped off my van, broke all the plastic clips? When we designed this bumper, we wanted to make sure this would never happen again. So we're going to be using the stainless steel hardware. Put the large fender washer on the back, fit the hole into the Mercedes factory hole, and thread all that stuff together. So let me show you this awesome trick. So you see the circle here on your fender liner. I'm just outside of that circle. I'm going to drill a little hole, line up the fender liner, the bumper cover, and our gold bumper, all three together before I'm putting the nut in the washer back here. And that's going to give you this much clearance for your tire up front. All that for free. We found that most of our customers are putting lights on their bumper. We wanted the bar to be high so you can protect those expensive lights. And the light mounting bracket is welded on the bar, so you don't have to spend extra money on mounting brackets.